Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing really very well. In our today's class, my dear student, we are going to start with chapter number 9. And the name of this chapter is Family and Community. It means, my dear student, I hope you all got a glimpse of this chapter. In this chapter, my dear student, we are going to talk about our family. Okay, what type of families exist in our country, India? Okay, and what type of community in which we used to live. So all those things we are going to explore in this chapter. Okay, but before starting this chapter, again we are going to start again we are going to see the famous quotes. Okay, so in this chapter the famous quote is given by Tiruvalluvar. Okay, love and dharma are the blossom and harvest of family life. Okay, see what makes family. Okay, family means, see, family means the person who used to live under one roof with love among them. Okay, see, so family means love and dharma. Okay, so for the establishing of any family, my dear student, you need two things: love and dharma. On the basis of this, you can make a strong and happy family. Okay, so come with me, let's explore the chapter. First of all, my dear student, we are going to see about family. What is the meaning of family? See, many of us, okay, means 99% population of our country, India, in my words, I can say that live with their family, and family is the most fundamental and oldest unit of our country, India. Okay, in our today's Indian society, my dear student, many type of family prevails, like it from nuclear family to joint family. The concept of nuclear family to joint family prevails in our Indian society. Okay, what is the meaning of joint family? Joint family means, my dear student, where several generation people used to live under one roof. Maybe your grandparents. Okay, in many family, my dear student, the parent of grandparents also live. Means your great grandparent, your grandparent, then your parents, your uncle, auntie, their children, and you all used to live. That type of family is called your joint family. Okay, but on the other hand side, my dear student, in our country, India, rapidly the concept of nuclear family is growing. Now, what is the meaning of nuclear family? Nuclear family means only a couple, means only mother and father used to live with their children. Maybe one children or maybe two children. Okay, maybe one child or maybe two children. Okay, so in this way, you can see, my dear student, we have seen the joint family concept and as well as the nuclear family concept here. Okay, so here you can see this is an example of your nuclear family. This is an example of the nuclear family. Okay, now, my dear student, we are going to see in English. In English, there aren't many specific terms for describing family relationship as we saw earlier. Okay, now, my dear students, see, the family context which we discussed, it is related totally with our Indian culture. But if I talk about an English language, there is not there aren't many specific terms. Means in English word, my dear student, there are not very much specific terms who used to define the concept of family relations. Okay, however, Indian languages has a vast array of terms. However, in our Indian context, we have a many things, okay, who describes our family. Okay, example, in Hindi there are words like bua, tau, tai, chacha, mosi, nana, nani, and many more. Okay, just like, my dear student, you can see in English language we can only see, you can only say mother, father, uncle, auntie, and my cousins and my grandparents. That's only. But in our Indian language we have many words for our relations. Here you can see in a family, bua live, tau, tai, chacha, chachi, okay, nana, nani, dada, dadi, and all. Okay, some languages such as Tamil even have distinct word for the elder brother, sister, or younger brother, sister. Okay, in our Tamil language, okay, in our Tamil language we have a separate word for sister, brother, okay, or for cousins. Okay, but what is equivalent word for cousin in an Indian language? See, but here question comes, what is the equivalent term for the word cousin? There is no specific term for cousin, because in our Indian culture, my dear student, cousins are treated as your real brother and sister. Okay, so it highlights the strong bonding among the family. Now, what are the roles and responsibilities we all have to bear and we all have to play, okay, in our family. Okay, so here you can see relationship within a family are built on love, care, cooperation. See, if I'm talking about family, it means I'm talking about the relationship among all the persons who is present uh, on that part of the family. Okay, now see, relationships are based on the love, care, cooperation, and interdependency among the all family members. Okay, each family members have different role and different responsibility they used to play. For example, you can see parents are responsible for raising their children, okay, to become happy individual. Okay, see, parents are responsible for raising their children, okay, and to make them a happy and responsible citizen towards the society. Okay, so on the other hand side, my dear student, when the children grow up, okay, when the children grew up, they also have to bear some responsibilities of their home, like if if they can do job, then in this way they can help their family members, okay, whether they are parents, their sister or brother. Okay, through their daily experiences, children learn to contribute to the life of the household. Okay, in many homes, children also learn the tradition and practices that many family has followed from generation. Okay, in maximum Indian houses, my dear student, we learn our culture and tradition which is passed throughout the generations. Okay, now following one's dharma or fulfilling one's duty has been a crucial principle in Indian culture. See, our Indian culture, okay, as you can see, my dear student, in our Indian culture, my dear student, following the customs and traditions and fulfilling one's duty is passing from one generation to another generation. Okay, the family serves as a school where children learn important values. Okay, see, the first school in every child's life, in every children's life, is their home. Okay, at their home they learn about the basic values and the basic life lessons of their life. Okay, example, you can say ahimsa. Okay, so if you want to teach your child about non-violence, then you also have to follow non-violence at your home, because home act as the first school of every children. Okay, dan means charity. Okay, seva means service, and tyag means sacrifice. Okay, so if you want to teach your children the concepts of ahimsa, dan, seva, tyag, okay, then you also have to do all these activities at your home also. Okay, often individuals within a family will put aside their own needs to take care of the family needs. See, in our family, my dear student, what happens? Okay, one individual put aside all of his desires, all of his things to keep their family happy. Okay, so now, my dear student, we are going to see some examples. Okay, we are going to see some examples. Here you can see a picture is given here. Okay, now we are going to discuss about this picture. See, in this picture, my dear student, it is said that this picture is based on a girl child named as Shalini. Okay, the name of that girl child is Shalini, and Shalini used to live in a small town in Kerala. Okay, so Shalini's father run a small business. Okay, and her mother was a teacher at the nearby school. Okay, and Shalini also had a brother, a younger brother. Okay, her grandmother. Okay, so in, my dear student, Malayali language, in Malayalam language, grandparent, okay, means grandmother. Your grandmother means your father's mother is called as Achamma. Okay, lived with them. Okay, so with the family of Shalini, their grandmother also lived. Okay, as did her Chitappa, her father's brother or uncle, and Chitti, her uncle's wife. See, my dear student, this story we are taking from Kerala. Okay, so in Malayali, in Kerala, Malayalam language spoken. So in Malayali language, Dadi. Okay, Dadi means your grandmother, called as Achamma. Okay, and Chitappa means your chacha or your uncle. Okay, and Chitti means your chachi or your aunt. Okay, so they all live in a family in Kerala town. They had a daughter, Shalini's cousin, whom she fondly called Chinni. Now, see, my dear student, in Shalini's family, okay, in Shalini's family, not only Shalini's grandmother live, but also their Chitappa and Chitti also live. Okay, and Shalini has a cousin named as Chinni. Recently, Shalini's uncle, but unfortunately, recently Shalini's uncle lost his job. Okay, and her auntie was a homemaker, As the family was preparing for the upcoming festival of Onam, Achamma mentioned to Shalini's father that her uncle was going through financial difficulty and couldn't afford new clothes for the festival. Now, my dear student, here you can see we are taking the example from a small town in Kerala. In that family, Shalini, okay, the main character, Shalini lives with his father, mother, and grandmother, okay, and also in her family, her uncle and auntie and her cousin also live. But unfortunately, his uncle lost his job, okay. So when the whole family is preparing for the Onam festival, Onam is the most popular festival of the Kerala people, okay. So when the whole family is preparing for Onam, now Shalini's grandmother told to Shalini's father that, see, your brother has recently lost a job. That's why he can't afford to buy new clothes for Onam celebration. While Shalini's parents took her and her brother shopping for the festival, they bought new clothes not just for themselves but also for Chittappa, Chitti, and Chinni. So when Shalini's parent went for the Onam shopping, they didn't only brought dresses for Shalini and for his younger brother, but they also brought dresses for his uh, uncle, auntie, and her daughter. Okay, because of this, Shalini couldn't get the silk dress as she has been hoping for and had to settle for a simple cotton cloth. See, Shalini was seeing a dream to buy a silk dress. Okay, but his uncle lost his job, so that's why his father was carrying the whole responsibility of the family. Okay, so at this Onam festival, Shalini didn't get silk dress. Okay, so instead of in place of silk dress, he has to satisfied with simple cotton dress. Achamma sat down with Shalini and explained that this is how family came together and helped each other, sharing what they have. Shalini, understanding her grandmother's word, didn't mind a simpler dress. She was content knowing that everyone in the family could celebrate the festival with new clothes, and that made her happy. See, Shalini was sad. Okay, Shalini was sad because she was dreaming to wear a silk dress, but in place of silk dress, she only got a cotton dress. Okay, so when she was sad, her Achamma means her grandmother sat down and explained that, see, Shalini, in this way family works. Okay, any person of the family is in trouble, that it is responsibility to other person to carry his sorrow, to share his sadness. Okay, so now Shalini easily understand, okay, this is the concept of family. Okay, now she is happy that, yes, okay, no problem. Okay, finally my cousin sister can also wear new dress for Onam festival. Okay, so this is the example taken from Kerala state. Now, my dear student, we are going to see another example which is taken from Meghalaya. Okay, so here you can see this story is all about your Meghalaya. Here the story is about Tenzing. Okay, here a story about Tenzing, and he loves mountains. Okay, he loves mountain. Meghalaya, I hope you all know, my dear student, Meghalaya is a state full of mountains. Okay, so the main character name here is Tenzing, and Tenzing used to live in mountain areas. That's why he used to love mountain areas. Okay, but you know what, my dear student, in mountain areas their life was very tough. Okay, my father runs a small grocery store. Okay, so the Tenzing father used to run a small grocery store to fulfill their basic needs. Okay, after her, my mother got busy with local handicraft corporate, creating our beautiful traditional fabrics, wood carving, and other items to sell to tourists. My father took on more responsibilities at home. You all know, my dear student, Meghalaya state is famous for their craft. Okay, Meghalaya state is famous for their fabrics. Okay, that's why all these things attract tourists to Meghalaya. Okay, so Tenzing, who used to live in mountain area, his father used to run a small grocery store. Okay, her mother, okay, his mother involves herself in crafting fabrics, wood carving. Okay, and they used to sell those items to tourists. Okay, he helps is cleaning house. And see, now Tenzing's mother and father are bearing more and more responsibilities. Okay, so Tenzing understood his responsibility, so now he is helping in house work. Okay, like he is tending a small vegetable garden. Okay, and he is doing other household works. Okay, he often assists his he even see Tenzing assists his grandmother in preparing food for all of them. Okay, because his father and mother both are busy. Okay, to earn money. So food is prepared by his grandmother. Okay, so Tenzing helps his grandmother in preparing food for their family. Okay, grandmother also always has fascinating stories to share, full of humor and wisdom. So while preparing the food, grandmother share many stories to Tenzing. Grandmother help me with my homework and take me to the school bus stop. Okay, so grandmother, Tenzing's grandmother, took her to the school and also helped in her homework. Okay, he is also actively involved in social work in our community. And see, Tenzing is a very active child. Okay, he even participated in the social works conducted by his community. Okay, for when for instance, when there's a power outage in our area, he goes to file a complaint. Now what type of social activity he used to do? Suppose there's a power cut. Okay, so he used to visit the office, okay, and file a complaint that in my area there is a power cut. Okay, and on the other hand side, if the house is damaged with the storm, okay, he understood his responsibility and he used to collect money for rebuilding that damaged house. Okay, now we are fortunate that my parents can provide for our basic need like food and clothing. Tenzing was very fortunate. Tenzing consider herself a very fortunate kid that my basic need like my food and clothing is beared by my parents. Okay, how whenever there are special expenses, I have often seen them discuss this together. So in the words of Tenzing, whenever some festivals are fall or some special occasions came, Tenzing hear that his parents are discussing all these things among them. Okay, mother always says that she would try to save more money. Okay, now when he hear her his mother is speaking that okay, we need to save more and more money for such kind of a special occasions. So my dear student, in this way you can see the two stories. Okay, one from Kerala and one from Meghalaya, but all these two stories give us a more life lessons, more valuable lessons of our life. Okay, so I hope, my dear student, you can easily understand in what way our family plays a very important role in our life. Okay, so my dear student, this is all for our today's session. Okay, because the next topic, community, we are going to discuss in our next class. Okay, till then, my dear student, you have to take very good care of yourself and you have to revise all the previous topics. Now I'm going to meet you in my next class. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Bye.